Third conditional. There are 4 different types of conditional sentences. In this video, we're going to look at third conditionals. Be sure to check out our videos on 0, first and second conditionals. You can find the links in the video description. The third conditional is used to talk about hypothetical situations in the past. It describes events or actions that have already not happened because a certain condition was not met. It's used to reflect on how things might have been different if the past had been different. Here's an example. If I had studied harder, I would have graduated earlier. The third conditional is used because it refers to a hypothetical situation in the past. The sentence imagines an alternative past where I had studied harder, which would have led to graduating earlier. Obviously, I can't go back in time and change that. So third conditional helps reflect on how past events might have turned out differently if conditions had been different. For this reason, third conditional is often used to express regrets, as it is doing in this sentence. Let's compare this to second conditional. Second conditional refers to unlikely or impossible situations in the present or future, like in this sentence. This is different to third conditional, which describes situations that could have happened in the past but didn't. Let's now look at the structure that makes this a third conditional sentence. To form third conditional, we use the word if, followed by the past perfect tense. Then, to form our second clause, we use the phrase would have, along with a past participle. And finally, we can see that a comma is used to separate our two clauses. We can also use the modal verbs could, might, or may in place of would, depending on the context. In this sentence, the condition comes before the result. We can change the order. For example, we could say, I would have graduated earlier if I had studied harder. Now the result comes before the condition. In this example, the structure is flipped, as you can see here. If we do this, we don't use a comma between the clauses. Now we know the structure of third conditionals, let's take a look at a couple more examples. Number 1. If Sam had waited any longer, he would have missed the train. Number 2. If we had taken a map, we wouldn't have gotten lost. Number 3. If he had apologized, I might have forgiven him. Notice the contraction used in the third sentence, might have, which is the contracted form of might have. Forming contractions using a modal verb and the word have is very common in spoken English. In the first sentence, instead of would have, I could use would have. Also, notice the use of wouldn't have in the second sentence to indicate a negative. We know these sentences are third conditional because they follow this structure. If, followed by a clause in past perfect, then a comma, then the phrase would have, then a past participle. These sentences all refer to hypothetical situations in the past. For this reason, they cannot happen. We can also use the phrases I wish and if only to express similar ideas to the third conditional. These expressions are used to reflect on regrets or hypothetical situations in the past, just like third conditional sentences. Take these sentences as examples. I wish I had been at the concert. If only I had been at the concert. These sentences are written using past perfect. Using past perfect tense means we are referring to a regret about a situation in the past. I'm looking back at a concert that's already been and gone, and I wasn't there. We can also use I wish and if only with the past simple tense. Here are the same sentences written using past simple. I wish I were at the concert. If only I were at the concert. Using past simple means I am referring to a wish for a different present reality. The concert is happening now and I'm not there. Maybe I'm stuck at home studying. And remember, we are using were in these examples because we're using the subjunctive mood. Now let's focus back on third conditionals. It's time for you to write a third conditional sentence of your own. Write about something that didn't happen in the past and imagine a different outcome. If you'd like, use one of these starters. Here's the usual structure for third conditional sentences. Also, instead of would, you can use other modals like could, might, or may to express possibility, ability, or uncertainty. And finally, remember that we can switch the order like this. The phrase would have, then the past participle, followed by if, and then a past perfect clause. Make sure to leave your sentence or sentences in the comments below because I'd love to see how you went. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you haven't already, check out our videos on zero, first, and second conditionals using the links below. I hope to see you soon for the next lesson. EasyTeaching.net